Bilsma, Councillor Chris Cody, Councillor Cheryl Glenann, and Councillor Harold Jonker. And on my left, Councillor Mike Rayner, Councillor Bill Riley, and in the middle, Councillor Jason Trombetta. From administration, we have our CAO, Ms. Bev Hendry, and our clerk, Ms. Joanne, she may. I have friends that have the same spelling but different pronunciations. And we have our Director of Planning, Brian Treble. The applicant of the owner of the dog is Kristen Belan. Am I pronouncing that right?
Belan. Yeah.
Belan. From the Niagara SPCA and Humane Society, we have Amanda Ellis, Enforcement Manager, present. And the victim of the dog bite is Hannah Festino. Okay. The clerk is to advise the method and dates by which the written notice was provided regarding the time, date, and location of this hearing.
Proper notice was given by way of individual notice sent by mail and email dated November 4th, 2019.
The date of the incident was October 15, 2019. The appellant of the muzzle order, Kristen Belan, is the owner. Niagara SPCA and Humane Society Animal Services investigator is Caitlin Weber.
I apologize, she's not here this evening, she's on vacation.
Okay. And the victim witness is Hannah Festino, and we've been introduced. The evening's agenda includes the following documentation, which is subject to this hearing. A notice of hearing dated November 4th, 2019, this one page. B, Kristen Belan submitted the notice of muzzle order, including receipt of appeal hearing fee on October 25th, 2019. That's 2 pages. C, a copy of the statement received on November 1st from 2019 from Kristen Belan, including reference letters. There's 6 pages. D, a copy of Ontario Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals occurrence report by Welland and District SPCA Caitlin Weber, investigator dated November 1. That's a page. And 5 pages is a copy of the SPCA and Humane Society Animal Service witness statement, date received November 1st. F is a copy of the Niagara SPCA and Humane Society Animal Services handwritten notes by Caitlin Weber, Enforcement Manager, dated received November 1st, 2 pages, and a copy of email and statement received from Hannah Festino on November 7th, 2019, and copy of extracts from Township of West Lincoln Bylaw number 2011-44, which provides for licensing, control, and regulation of dogs related to this issue, 4 pages. And I just wanted to note that some of the personal information has been redacted from the information provided above. Okay, and we are in fact recording now, so that's great. Will the enforcement manager, Miss Amanda Ellis, please come forward to the table? I think you can just slide over a chair there. Okay, yeah. The mic is the one that we're...
I'm good.
Your mic is on? Okay, great.
Okay.
Come forward and provide your statement and evidence in support of why you have designated Ms. Belan's dog to be a dangerous and have issued a muzzle order.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. I will be giving submissions based on Caitlin Weber's reports. She is, as I said earlier, on vacation tonight.
Just pardon me, just for the record, we're going to have to swear you in.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to have the director.
Swear.
So do you swear that the evidence shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, and you need for the record, just one more.
Amanda Ellis.
Great, you may proceed.
Okay. On October 15th, 2019, our office received a complaint from a Miss Hannah Festino. She stated that she was jogging on the area of 16 Road in Caister Center when a black dog ran from the property of 9170 16 Road and jumped on her. The officer did contact, left a message. Ms. Festino called back. The officer, at which time on October 16th, requested a statement and photos of any injuries sustained. On October 22nd, that information was received to our office via email. On October 24th, Officer Weber attended 9170 Road and spoke with the dog owner, Miss Kristen Belan. Ms. Belan provided Officer Weber with her accounts of the events. At that time, Officer Weber, then considering the evidence that she was given in a previous incident, issued a muzzle order based on the Township of West Lincoln's bylaw 21-44, Section 12, and advised Ms. Belan to apply for a kennel license at that time, as she had stated that she was breeding dogs. And that's basically the events that were received. You have the photos of the injuries that were sustained. That would be it.
Okay, so does the appellant dog owner, Ms. Bland, wish to question the enforcement manager?
Yes, due to the kennel license regulations. I'm just not understanding why I need a kennel license. The incident part, I understand that everything was fine there, but the kennel
According to-
requirements,
Okay, according.
that's what I'm not understanding.
Okay, through you, Mr. Chair. According to Officer Weber's report, you stated that part of the aggression or the reason for the incident was because your dog had puppies?
Yes, possible aggression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she stated that if you were going to breed under the Township of West Lincoln's bylaw, you have to obtain a kennel license
For just breeding?
for breeding. Yes.
So even though the pups are not staying with me?
Yes, under the Township's West Lincoln. I can read the definition if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay. So through you, Mr. Chair, Section I of the definitions, kennel means any building, structure, or enclosure for the purpose of keeping, housing, training, enclosing, or harboring dogs which are kept for pets or for show, or shall also include the operation of boarding and/or breeding facilities for dogs.
Okay,
So if you're breeding dogs, you would have to require a kennel license.
okay.
Okay, any further questions for the manager? Okay. Any members of the council wish to question the enforcement manager? Counselor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And through you, was there anything in the report, because I guess Ms. Weber's not here, that when she came in contact with the dog, that indicated that there was any additional aggression that she experienced herself?
She did not see the dog.
She did not see the dog
No.
at all?
She did not
So
even
hold-
ask
so-
to
so
see
hold
the
on, hold on.
dog.
I'm not, sorry, not to be rude.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, do you have anything that would indicate that she came in contact with the dog?
The, Ms.
Yes.
Fastino?
No,
Ms.
Ms.
Weber?
Weber,
Caitlin.
I believe
Oh,
he's
the
asking whether.
officer?
The officer
The
that was
officer.
assigned.
Came in contact with the dog? No.
Okay. And is that normal policy? Like, I just assume as a, if there's
Well-
an issue, you would want to, I guess, see the dog first.
Okay, through you, Mr. Chair. It's not uncommon for officers not to necessarily have to see the dog. Caitlin Weber had already actually met the dogs on a previous incident.
Okay.
And dogs will react differently to officers, so she's basing her investigation on the evidence that she was provided. Due to the uniform, it can actually work against them because they can act more aggressive with the uniform, right?
Oh,
Postal
absolute-
services, things
absolutely,
like
and that's
that.
what I was-
So they generally, seeing the dog is not a huge concern of the officers.
Okay. That's all I have.
Any further? Counselor Trombetta?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, Mr. Mayor, to the officer. Just a question, if I have, let's say, this is where it comes into play, the kennel license, because maybe my questions have to go through Director Trouble. If I have a male and female dog and they have babies, and I sell those babies, you're automatically supposed to have a kennel license?
If you're breeding, yes.
If
yes.
So if any dog, like say you have a male and female and the dog gets pregnant and and the only reason I'm asking is you go on Kijiji, there's 1,000 ads for dogs for sale.
Yep.
So my thing is all those dogs don't have kennel licenses? Like, that's where I'm kind of confused, because I grew up in the country and, you know, the dog got pregnant from another dog, because we had two, and we, you know, they gave away the puppies, sometimes not even selling the puppies, we just gave them away. So you still need a kennel, like through you, Mr. Mayor, to,
Well,
Director
right now,
Trump?
the questioning is to the manager, so.
or the manager, but I'm just trying to go back, sorry, Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
to interrupt, like, maybe I, to come.
I'm
let
trying
me
to follow
understand the
procedure,
policy.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna stick with the manager because she's being.
Sure,
she's
yeah,
being-
I'm just, like, you know how you go on Kijiji, you see tons of dogs, and it's, you know, I grew up on a farm, I had, you know, dogs, someone dropped off, a family member dropped off a dog, another dog, we had dogs, and they got pregnant. We'd pretty much give the dog away, we never sold them, but we never had a kennel license back then.
No, well, through you, Mr. Mayor, yes, most municipalities, if you breed dogs, you have to have a kennel license. Breeding, boarding, you have to have a kennel license.
Like, we're not anticipating the dog to get pregnant is what I'm saying, but, you
Right.
know, it happens.
Yes.
And, you know, like I said, family members would take a dog, or we would just, like, we wouldn't keep the pup, so I didn't know, that's news to me, I was just kind of confused on the policy on it, right? Thanks.
We'll maybe get some further information later when we have,
Please, yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor. Thank you for that update, thank you.
You're welcome.
any other questions from councilors to the manager? Okay. At this point, thank you very much. We could get back to you, but I'd like to have the clerk please read a note from Ms. Faustino's doctor, which was provided by Ms. Faustino by email this morning.
Thank you, Mayor Belsma. Okay, this was received by email this morning. It is from Mrs. Fasato's doctor, Dr. Stephen Zezo. I don't know if I'm saying these right, but please be advised that Hannah Faustino is a patient under my care. She was seen for assessment by myself and one of my allied health practitioners on October 16, 2019. Hannah reported that she sustained a dog bite to her right posterior hamstring, and her physical examination was consistent with this. She was prescribed an antibiotic, which the dosage is there for 10 days. Please contact my office if you have any questions. Yours truly, Dr. Stephen Zezo.
Okay, so that's entered for information. At this time, will Ms. Faustino please come forward to the table and provide your statement? If you can grab that corner chair there. And the Director of Planning will swear you.
I'll swear in front. Yes.
Do you swear that the evidence that you're about to give in this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, I swear. Good. Hannah Faustino. Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity just to speak about this unfortunate incident. I am here today because I feel I have a responsibility to report. I couldn't imagine if this were to happen to anyone in my neighborhood or anybody, and even just imagining if my 3 young children were with me, that would be devastating because I don't know the impact it would have had on them. I've been running since I've been 11 years old on trails, on streets, and I've encountered many dogs. And this is the first time I've ever encountered something with a dog pursuing me with this intent. And I've been clawed before, and I know the difference between being clawed and having a dog bite. And after coming home and examining myself, I realized this was beyond being clawed. Sorry, you'll have to excuse me because I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
I know that the owner, Kristen, has questioned why I would continue to run if you look at her statement after apparently having been dog bitten. And I would like to answer to her is that it is a common stress response to run. It's to run, fight or flight, and that was my response, was to run. I've been in races and I've ran. I've had injuries, and I just keep on running. That's how I train. That's how I keep on going. And the pain is beyond my leg. It's more just anxiety that's in my mind now. I acknowledge your witness statements, and it's just so evident to see how much you stand behind your dog, baby, and how you really believe that she believes that her dog is not aggressive. And I just want you all to keep in mind too that all these witness statements are people that are familiar with Baby. I'm coming from Toronto and Mississauga, and I can be pretty certain that most of the dogs in rural Keister Center don't have as much encounters with strangers as people who have dogs in the city. So if she can, confidently say that her dog, if she were to bring her dog Baby to an open leash, to a busy trail, to a busy city street, and that Baby would never show any sign of aggression towards a stranger, then that's great. This is definitely a rare occurrence. And, after this experience, it's definitely changed my outlook with just being outside and running. It's definitely hard to find places for me to run, but now I have to say I do carry dog repellent spray. And, I've never had to do that since I was 11, being a runner. But now it's just, there's always this thought in the back of my mind about safety and of having this encounter again. But yes, thank you for this opportunity to speak.
Okay, thank you for your statement. Ms. Bland, do you have any questions for Ms. Faustino? Okay. Any members of council have any questions for Ms. Faustino? Manager, do you have any questions for Ms. Faustino? No, okay. I have to go through this. It's all there. So I'm being very thorough. Are there any other witnesses in support of the manager's case? If yes, this would be the time to come forward. Are there any other witnesses in support of this case?
Witnesses like from my side?
Nope, from the
No.
enforcement manager's case. So
Okay.
this is on the, okay, seeing none. Okay, so at this time, we're going to switch gears here, and you'll be able to speak from that seat. Ms. Faustino, you can sit back in your seat, or you can stay there. Ms. Bland, you wish to come forward to the table, which is where you're sitting, is fine there, and provide your statement or evidence in support of why your dog should not be considered dangerous and vicious and should not be muzzled. I'm going to have Mr. Treble swear you in.
Do you swear that the evidence that you're about to give in this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Kristen Bland. I don't have anything additionally to say other than what was already provided in my statement. I do have two witnesses with me. My father-in-law did write a report as well, but my mother-in-law, the one that was with me at the time of the incident, they just want to basically clarify along with me that this was not a bite. For a lot of the records, it was put down that it was a bite, but it was not a bite. It was her claw. She has very sharp nails. She jumps on me all the time. That's how she says hello. She's a very friendly dog. I want to make it clear that it was not her tooth that punctured. It was her claw. I have my two witnesses with me. My mother-in-law was with me at the time of the incident. It was part of the incident with her, and as well myself and my father-in-law witnessed the entire incident sitting in the front window. And he watched the entire thing as well. Baby did run on the road, yes. She jumped on her backside with her paws. As soon as I yelled, "Baby, come," and she came. I just want to make it clear that it was not a bite.
Okay. Thank you very much for that comment. Does the enforcement manager wish to question the dog owner, Ms. Bland, at this time?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, no.
Okay. Does any members of the council wish to question the dog owner at this time? Seeing. Oh, go ahead, Councillor Cody.
Yeah, I'm just looking through you, Mr. Mayor, for some clarification. Like, what could have possibly been your reason for chasing her down in your car?
Chasing
then-
her down in my
And then
car.
questioning why she was still running.
Well, I was
After
leaving. I
like-
was leaving the house with my daughter. It just so happened that I had to leave at the same time. I was going that way, and then I just so happened to see Miss Faustino running at the same time. I wasn't chasing her by all means. I wasn't going after her. I was leaving because I was already running late with my daughter for gymnastics, which started at 9:30. So I was already going out at the time.
Okay.
So it just so happened that I had somewhat passed her on the way, and I was still trying to see if she was okay, because she wouldn't talk to me at the end of my driveway. So I pulled over, and I was kind of upset, obviously, with the whole fact that she kind of just shunned me off, because I was trying to be nice and trying to see if I could help her in any way. And I did drive up there, and I said, I'm sorry, but if you were so upset and so hurt, I'm like, how are you still, because she was booking it.
It's probably panic.
And I understand that, I do, because I have anxiety too, I understand. If you have that adrenaline in you, you're gonna move. I understand that, but that's why I just pulled over, and that was obviously just the first thing that came to my mind. There was an incident that happened, and obviously, that's just what came out. So, no, but I wasn't following her or anything. I actually had to go down 16 that way.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from councilors? Okay. Would you like to, are there any witnesses in support of your case? You mentioned your mom. Would she
my
like to-
mother-in-law and father-in-law are
Would
both
they-
here with me. I don't think there's anything additionally that needs to be said. They just wanted to make sure that they were here to clarify that there was not a bite. It was just her paw.
Yeah. Yeah, please go ahead.
So through you, Mr. Mayor, so you're saying your parents, so your mom was by the door-ish and your dad was inside by a window. How are they so confident they did not see a bite, in your opinion?
That they're
Because I don't
confident
know
they
that
were
you-
both there.
But, so
My-
you described to me the distance of where they approximately would have been from the house to where the attack happened?
My mother-in-law was standing out. Do you want to talk to them? I mean, I can
If
put
one
them
of
on
them-
the stand
yeah,
if
if one of
if
them
you
would like
want.
to come
Yeah,
up, I
my
don't-
mother-in-law can come up.
Yeah, I just would love some
If
clarity.
you'd like to
there.
come up,
If-
ma'am,
yeah.
to the chair here, then Mr. Treble will swear you in.
In the meantime, if I can ask, from your front door to
Yeah.
the end of your driveway, how much distance would that be approximately? I'm just trying to.
Like 4 or 5 car lengths.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
it's not
that's-
far.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
that's what I want to make sure.
Just swear her. So do you swear that the evidence that you're about to give in this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Okay, we tell the truth.
And your name for the record?
Sylvia Bilan.
Thank you.
Please sit down, ma'am, and speak into the mic. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and back to you. So my question is, how are you confident it wasn't a bite, or more confident that it was a claw? So from your observation, if you could just clarify what made you certain that what you witnessed was actually just a claw and not a bite, Mark?
Well, I was outside with her because the incident happened to me. I just opened the door and I tried to put a little bag in a garbage. And I was in a medication. I had with chest congested and pneumonia. And I was in a puffer. And when I saw baby going towards to the driveway, but I was very close, maybe from here to the door there. And I called baby, she was running. And the lady was running, and I just ran, and I couldn't run faster because I was in that breathing problem, plus I'm in long-term disability. And I just called her, baby, no, baby, come, and she come, and she just jumped in here, that's all it was, and I was so close. And then Kristen just walked on the door with little, my granddaughter to take her to the gymnast. And Kristen, she says, baby, come here, baby, she was already come. She came to me. She's very friendly. She never bite nobody. She just jump. Yeah, even the little kids, they have 3 kids. They play with baby, no problem. She never bite nobody. And I was so close. And that incident happened to me, that I opened the door to put it a little bag in garage, in a garbage bin, because it was garbage day in that day. So, and she just sneaked in between my legs, and I wasn't strong enough to get her faster back. Yeah,
Okay. No,
and I was very close, that's why I know, she just. And even that lady, she say, she was holding her from here, and she ran until to the corner, and then she come back, she took her telephone, and she took a picture at the mailbox with the number. And I say to her, I says, are you okay? I says, you heard? She said, oh, I might end it with some bruise. She jumped on me. Like that she say, I swear in God. She jumped in me, so wasn't it bite? And I was right there, and from here to there. And baby come right away because she knows, she come. And that happened, I was there, happened to me. But I couldn't run because of my breathing and my disability.
That's
But baby come
understandable. Thank
at
you.
the command. Soon I call her baby, she just come to me.
Thank you.
Are there any, I'm just not going to, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, I don't, Mr. Mayor, but I do have a comment if I can.
Please go ahead, yeah.
Under the definition, everyone's questioning whether the incident was a bite, and that's what we seem to be looking at. Did the dog actually bite? Under the definition in the bylaw, the dog doesn't have to bite, it just has to cause an injury.
Okay, that's very important information, thank you. Yeah. Councilor Rayner?
Thank you, Mr.
And
Mayor.
this would be to the witness?
No, it would be to Ms. Blunt.
Well, right now, it's the witness that's on the stand.
All right, then I will do for the witness.
Yeah.
With regards to this dog, does this dog have a habit of running out on the road to intercept people who are going by?
No, she doesn't.
So have you got an explanation,
And-
through you, Mr. Mayor, have you got an explanation then why this dog would go after this lady?
Because they have electric fence right around, and she had that around her neck, but because she was with puppy, nursing the puppy, so that was too cat for the night. So when she sneak, Kristen didn't have chance to put it on yet, and she's putting her in a leash when she goes outside for her business.
So through you, Mr. Mayor, so the nature of this dog is to wander off the property if it doesn't have a collar or it's not on a
No,
leash?
no.
What other options are there?
That was just the incident when she ran, maybe because she saw that lady running, but she's not without supervision.
I understand that, but if she doesn't have a collar on or she's not on a leash, it appears that she will leave the property.
Well, it never happened. That was the incident with me because Kristen take care of always. She does. She's looking after the dogs. And me, I'm not living there. I was just came to visit my grandkids for the Thanksgiving, and I got sick and I couldn't go back in Brantford.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, with regards to the collar, is there any other means on the property to prevent the dog from going off the property, such as invisible fencing or anything?
They have leash. Kristen put it here in a leash.
They put them on a leash?
Yes.
So unless the person is with them, the dog is not left on its own
If
outside,
Kristen is outside, they don't go in a road.
except this time?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, that's all I have.
Any other questions for this particular witness? Seeing none, thank you, ma'am. You're free to go back to your seat.
Thank you.
Is there any public opinion, any member of the public that wish to come forward and make a comment on this appeal? Seeing none. Members of the council shall now deliberate on the merits of the evidence presented and will render a decision, or they may reserve their decision to be presented later, which shall not be later than 10 days following the date of this hearing. A written copy of the decision or the consent order will be prepared as soon as practical after the conclusion of this hearing and will be delivered or mailed by express post to the appellant dog owner at the address shown on their application, as well as the victim of the dog bite, the Niagara Regional Police, the Regional Public Health Department, the Township, the Niagara SPCA, and Humane Society, and members of the council. Councillor Cody, you have a resolution to go into closed.
I do. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Ganon that the next portion of this meeting be closed to the public to consider the following pursuant to Section 239, 2 of the Municipal Act. 1, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board. And 2, personal matters about identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees.
So, pending the outcome of this next vote, we will be exiting the room and go to the library. So we're just going to exit the room so you guys can all stay comfortable, and then we'll come back and we'll have some kind of resolution out of that. So, all those in favor? And that's carried. We'll be right back shortly.